Hello lacrosse world, Bryce Wasserman here from the Ohio Machine. We're at the Embassy Suites here in Dublin, Ohio at Machine Lacrosse Convention. We got a new fancy microphone and they gave it to me, so I'm going to be giving you guys updates all day throughout the day with vendors, merchandise, our speakers, and coaches that are attending the event as well. Make sure you stay tuned in. Well, Machine fans, there's no special treatment at LaxCon. I'm here to register just like everyone else with Mike Todd, the usual voice of the Machine. Now he is the helping hands of the Machine today, and I'm here to register, Bryce Wasserman.
All right, just hand that microphone over to me, Bryce. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see. Did we find? Okay, so this is Tag from Capital Crusaders Lacrosse, coached by Dominic Marzano. All right, Bryce. Okay, that is for you. And let's see. Let's find your credential. There we go. There we go. Here is your lanyard. Make sure you wear that at all times. And don't forget your convention handbook. There you go.
Now we're going to go for a walk. In mere minutes, these rooms are going to be filled with coaches and players looking to learn. First, we're going to stop in Dublin A. As you can see, this is one of our main rooms. Seats will be filled with coaches seeking knowledge. Now we're going to keep walking. Moving into the Dublin B room. As you can see, more chairs for more coaches seeking more knowledge. Moving forward into Dublin C for our girls youth track. And last and certainly not least, the primetime room as they call it. Dublin D, home of the high school leadership track, in more of a boardroom setting. So we're gonna have some fun in this room in a couple hours. To continue the tour, as you can see, we are at full capacity. There is no room to walk down there, so we decided to come get you a bird's eye view of all of our amazing vendors here at the event today. Alright, Machine fans, we have to be very quiet as to not awaken this beast. We're going to see a wild Coach D in his natural habitat. Follow me. Welcome back, Machine fans. We are here with Coach Delia, offensive coordinator for the Ohio Machine, who is a veteran of speaking at coaches' conventions. Coach, tell us about your experience speaking at these conventions like this.
Well, this is the first one for me here in Ohio, but I've been at the national convention and obviously a bunch of Connecticut and local conventions throughout the Northeast.
So you've been to the Northeast, kind of a lacrosse hotbed. You're here in Ohio now where you're the pro coach. What does this event specifically mean to you?
To me, it's about spreading the word in the area that the Ohio Machine plays and getting as many people involved in the game that we all love.
So as offensive coordinator, I'm sure all the fans want to know how you're going to use me next summer.
Well, hopefully I'm going to use you by having a ball on your stick and then going in the back of the net every time. That's what I'm hoping.
I can do that. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. You got it.
We are here with Ted Bergman, volunteer assistant from Cleveland State University. First thing we're going to talk about, Ted was recently picked up by the Denver Outlaws. Ted, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's such an honor to be here first. Thanks for having us. I was really excited to be picked up by the Denver Outlaws. Just an opportunity to represent a great city out in Denver, a really thriving lacrosse market, and the entire organization out in Denver really puts people first. They care about the community, and I couldn't be excited anymore to compete for such a great fan base.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do the rest of the interview from like one step away now because there's a big game on July 13th. The Denver Outlaws will be coming to town to Columbus, Ohio. Buy your tickets online. Season tickets are available for home games, but I'm going to distance myself a little bit from this new rival. Lastly, though, Coach, I want to ask you your thoughts on this convention as a whole. Being a coach, coming here as a college coach, improving your game so that you can help your players, what do you feel about this event as a whole?
Well, I think reading that letter that the Ohio Machine sent out to the entire lacrosse community about a month ago really showed where their heart was. They care about the community here in Ohio, and they truly do care about growing lacrosse on the grassroots level here, and I really value that, and I really appreciate that from an organization. It's really incredible to see the amount of support that we have here in the Midwest region. This is by far and away the largest convention in the Midwest, and to be able to represent Cleveland State in our growing lacrosse program also in the state of Ohio. It's a really meaningful experience for me. There's so many great minds here sharing knowledge of the game. I've already picked up a lot on the offensive side of the ball, which is great for me as a goalie specialist. I'm really excited to present on goaltending myself. But all in all, credit to the Ohio Machine, a really classy organization who really cares about the community.
All right, I'll come back in. Thank you, Ted. I would like to introduce you to Bart Sullivan, the new defensive coordinator for the Ohio Machine. And what you probably don't know is Coach Bart was actually my head coach my junior and senior year of high school back in Southlake, Texas. So, Coach, I think the fans want to know what your favorite memory of the two of us was in high school.
Oh, no doubt. My favorite memory with Bryce in high school was his senior year in the first round of the playoffs, playing against a really good program in Texas called St. Mark's. We're up by 1, end of the game, get the ball back, get it to Bryce, hold the game, and we win. He takes a shot, of course. Goalie makes a save. They come down and score. And, looked at him and I just said, don't worry, you're going to get the winning goal in overtime. We get the ball back in overtime. He gets it. Of course, sticks the winning goal. Celebration. I think, my 6 years down there, that was still probably the biggest moment in the whole program since I was there. So it was a really cool moment for Bryce to see his aggressive attitude in terms of he wants to score goals. And if he misses a goal, he has a shooter's mentality where it doesn't get him down. He takes the next one, and that's exactly what he did, won us the game.
I appreciate it, Coach. So now, moving from the high school ranks in Texas, you were a college coach before that. How do you feel about joining the pro ranks now as a defensive coordinator?
I'm really excited to join the pro ranks. Obviously a little bit different than high school and even in college, but I'm really excited to get to work with some of the best players in the world and ultimately be able to take a little bit of a more strategic and tactical view of the game, the player development side of things. These guys are already so good, and we can sort of break it down to just little game time adjustments and making sure we're on the same page. I'm really excited. We've got a great staff, great players, so I'm excited to work with these guys.
And so lastly, Coach has been all over the country as a coach, Denver, Dallas, and now back in Ohio, a lot of blossoming areas. What do you feel about the growth of the game in all those non-hotbed areas, but especially here in Ohio?
Yeah, I think number one, what we see everywhere in the country is there is a lot of talent at the top end coming out of these areas. I mean, I think that the best players in some of these quote-unquote non-hotbeds, they're as good as the best players anywhere. I think where we're still at from a growth perspective though in these areas is still getting the numbers up. I think the top end talent's as good in Texas and Ohio and Colorado as it is in some of the East Coast places, but now it's a matter of getting a lot of the other athletes in these areas picking up the sport and playing the sport and continue to grow it. So it's a fun thing to be a part of. I've never been a part of the whole the East Coast thing. I've never coached, never played on the East Coast. So everything for me has been Midwest, South, and West, and it's been a fun thing to be a part of.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach. We're excited for summer 2019. So we are here with Coach Ross from the Ohio State University. Coach, I wanted to ask you, for those who don't know, Coach had a very successful MLL lacrosse career. I'm going to ask him for some advice heading into year 2. What do you got for me, Coach?
I think year 2 in the MLL, the hard part is now you're not coming off a college season. And it's the same thing I would tell Ben. It's your ability to get in great shape is probably the single most important thing. And then finding time with whatever your professional career is to make sure your game is sharp, because that's the type of things that tend to go after your first year.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. And so now you've bounced around to a few schools while you've been a coach. What drew you to Columbus to coach for the Buckeyes?
I think probably for me, I always wanted to work at a big-time athletic school, and there's none bigger and better than Ohio State. So for me, that was probably the original draw. That's changed over the years. I think we're lucky enough to work with some really great people, and that's what keeps me here.
Awesome. And so Ben Randall is here. He's stepping into the interview. We want you to describe this Ohio State legend in one word. That is a word. That is a word. It works. Thank you. As now we are here with the mastermind of this entire thing, head coach and general manager Bear Davis. Coach Davis, in the A-team they say, I love it when a plan comes together. What is it like planning this whole convention and then seeing it come to action today?
Well, I think the exciting part is just sitting down and you start looking at the speakers, we start putting them together, and then all our partners come together, and then, like you said, it's just like that play, that poetic part where someone catches it, release goes to the back of the net, and the same kind of feeling for when everything unfolds and everybody gets here and goes through their registration, and you see people reconnect and see a lot of people with their heads down taking notes, and it's really grasping the whole concept of what this is about.
Right. And so now moving forward into next season, one of the big things in training camp from what I heard was the Bear Davis Beard Watch. What can we expect from the facial hair this coming winter and moving into training camp?
Well, you know, what I really like to do is I like to keep the players and the fans, you know, on edge. You know, I really don't like to reveal this plan, especially, I mean, it's like December 1st.
Right.
And it would just be too easy for me to talk about it now. I mean, right now I'm going a little thinner. I could go duster. I don't know. I really could mix it up. You know, I could go chops, maybe full out beard again.
The cards are close to his chest this winter. Last thing we want to hear, we heard it's a funny story, but we were told to ask you about it. The visor. How did you first start wearing visors? We heard it's a funny story.
Well, I don't know if it's funny. It's just it's a reality thing. Before visors were, you know, a thing at all, I used to just cut the tops out of my hats because, you know, my head just isn't right. My head just goes like in this shape thing, and I don't know what to do when I put on a regular hat. It just doesn't look right. So then when visors became available, I just started wearing them, and then I don't ever know if they're in or out. I just think it goes in a cycle, and it's my thing, I guess.
We are now here with Kim Russell. Kim just spoke on the girls track here at the convention, and I wanted to get her thoughts about the girls track here at the convention and the girls game in general in this area.
Hi, thanks for having me. So I am so excited to be here and to see all of the coaches who showed up, who want to continue learning and getting better, because that shows how much growth we have in the girls game in this area and the passion that there is out there to learn and to continue to grow. So it makes me beyond excited.
I'm very excited about it too. This room was packed full, and we are 30 minutes after a session because she was giving tips and drills to everybody post-session. It was awesome to see. So now I want to ask you about your coaching journey. So you were at Baldwin Wallace, then you went to IMG Academy, a powerhouse down in Florida, and now you're back here coaching at Oberlin. Just kind of walk us through that and why you chose to come back to this area.
Okay, so I am a serial starter of programs and have started programs at the high school, the youth, the club level, and then BW was the first college team I started back in 2012. Had a great experience there, coached there through the summer of 2017. Was given an amazing opportunity by IMG Academy to start their first ever girls lacrosse program in Florida. Went down there August 3rd, had a team of 15 girls by the time school started on August 22nd. So it was a quick turnaround there. Got to work with some top girls. We had 5 girls from Canada and 10 from the United States, all over, and got to work with some of the most amazing coaches I've ever worked with, and I actually used a couple of examples that I learned in my presentation today. But IMG Academy is a for-profit institution, and my values and theirs really didn't match up, and so I came back to Ohio, and Oberlin reached out to me. Linda, who is an amazing coach and who just recently left Oberlin to become the director of operations at Ohio State, reached out to me. Natalie Winkelfuss, who is our athletic director, reached out to me, and I went and met with them, and really Oberlin is absolutely the most perfect fit for me as far as my philosophy and what I believe, not only for the game of lacrosse for women, but for us as humans in general. I'm all about the holistic, whole body experience. Lacrosse is the medicine game, and Oberlin's philosophy really mimics that. So I'm in the right place.
You heard it here first. Great for the game and great for the soul. Some kids grew up wanting to be Peyton Manning. Some grew up wanting to be Derek Jeter. I grew up wanting to be Ben Randall. And today my dream has finally come true with this Machine Player t-shirt. Go to shopohiomachine.com and get one for yourself. Machine fans, thank you for tuning in today with me. For everyone who came, thank you. For everyone who didn't, we hope to see you next year.